So we'll just start with say and spell your name.
My name is Michael Waldon. I go by Mike, and it's M-I-K-E and W-A-L-D-O-N.
Awesome. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Terre Haute, Indiana.
Yeah. What was that like?
Flat.
Flat?
Like here.
Okay.
A lot of cornfields. And small city.
Okay.
Terre Haute. It had 70,000 population.
Yeah. So, are you a country boy then, or are you
Not really.
just happen to grow up in the country?
Small city.
Small city.
Small city boy.
Gotcha. Fair enough. So it's appropriate that maybe you're in Lafayette and
Yeah.
sort of a small city.
Yeah. It's getting bigger, but
Yeah.
but it used to be a small city anyhow.
It did. You're right. You're right. So, how did you end up from there to here?
Oh, it's a really long story. I've lived a lot of places and done a lot of things because I'm old. But one of the things that I did was I taught at UL for 10 years as a research professor in civil engineering in the Center for Louisiana Inland Water Studies. And we did a lot of work on water quality research in the state.
Right.
And I really loved Lafayette, and my wife did too. We were living in South Florida, and I was working for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service at the time as a hydrologist, and we had 2 small kids and said, we just don't want to raise our kids in South Florida. So we thought about the best place in the world to raise your kids, and we both decided on Lafayette, that Lafayette would be the perfect place.
And that's after having lived here for 10 years you decided that, or just decided that before you lived here?
Decided that after living here.
Okay, okay.
So we came back to Louisiana.
Fair enough, yeah. So how are Louisiana and South Florida different? Like, what propelled you to make that decision?
Gosh, we felt as if South Florida has more of a materialistic kind of attitude. Everybody worries about how much money they're making and how many square feet in their house. My daughter, with her best little friend one time, I think she was probably 5 years old, was arguing with her friend about whose house had the most square feet. And that's the kind of things kids hear in South Florida. And here, I don't think it's quite like that. There truly is a different attitude in Acadiana, and we thought that would be a good attitude to surround our children with when they grew up.
Sure, yeah. So you said that you were in, for lack of understanding, wildlife and civil engineering, and so are you like a scientist? Are you, is that your...
My degree is in engineering.
Okay.
I was a licensed environmental engineer.
Gotcha.
I was working for a consulting firm in Virginia and just getting really frustrated with it and frustrated with my management, as people do. And I went home and complained about it once too often, and I said to my wife, I saw an ad for a job working in the Everglades. Wow, wouldn't that be great? And she said, well, apply for it. Yeah. So I did, and you know, lightning struck. They hired me, and they hired me as a hydrologist. So I'd been an environmental engineer. It's really just a name, but
same thing.
After that, I called myself a hydrologist and stopped calling myself an environmental engineer.
Yeah, definitely. Do you consider yourself a teacher and a hydrologist, or is that a part of your life that you call yourself a teacher, or you are a teacher?
I did
still?
teach in the university for a while, and I even got an award, but
nice.
I never felt that that was really my calling or the thing I did best.
Gotcha.
But I really enjoy working with younger engineers and environmental scientists, and helping them move along in their career and to learn the field. Yeah. But I'm I'm really not organized enough in my life to be a teacher. My hat goes off to teachers.
Same here. So when you were growing up, did you have any mentors like you're doing now?
Oh, I definitely did. Two of the people that I worked with while I was here at UL, well, three people were retirees from the U.S. Geological Survey. They'd worked in the Baton Rouge office and retired. And they really were hydrologists. They had done hydrology for their whole lives. And that's where I feel like I really learned the field, is Fred Lee, Dwayne Everett, and Max Forbes were three old guys from the USGS, and they taught me much of what I know.
Yeah, very cool. So let's talk a little bit about AOC, just a little bit. Tell me how you first got involved with AOC.
Well, I saw it on the TV, and I believe there were some special programs that I really wanted to watch, and I tuned in to watch it. Then I found out I could join and become a member, and so I did that, not really knowing what that entailed. I just came and signed up. Then I took the orientation class. I've taken one of the production classes, and I wish I had more time to really get involved. It's a wonderful resource, and gosh, you can take, as a member, you can take the classes for free and learn all these great skills.
We agree. What was your first impression then of AOC? I know you said that you kind of happened upon it on TV, so what did you think about it when you finally came? And
Oh, I was very impressed. You've got really fine equipment. Long ago, when I was a student in college, I worked in the radio station, and things have changed so much since then. We had relays and mechanical volume controls and all that sort of thing. And a TV camera weighed so much, very few women were big enough, they would say, to actually move one of those monstrous cameras. And the cables that went to the cameras were so big, they had to have a cable handler who would run around behind the camera operator just pulling the cable. And now your cameras are just tiny and easy to use and much easier to edit the information that you get from it. So I'm just astounded by the progress that's been made over the years since I first started looking into this sort of thing.
Yeah. Is there anything that surprised you about AOC?
Well, I was surprised that basically everything is free to members. It's just an incredible resource for the community. And I've asked in some other communities if they have a program like this, and I don't see one anywhere. This is really a wonderful asset for Lafayette, and I think a thing that would draw people to come here.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, I don't think that people realize how fortunate Lafayette is, especially as a city this size, to have something this unique in it. You know, not every city is as fortunate to have this, just like you said. And even cities that are larger than us don't have this. So I agree.
Yes, and kids can learn a real skill. If they come here and take your classes, it's a real job skill that they could use while they go through college or just move out into a career.
Certainly dabble in it and see if they're interested in it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's definitely one of our goals. Yeah. Do you have a dream project that you would like to work on or to produce?
I do.
Okay.
I'm afraid I just don't have the talent to do it, but I would love to go talk to some of the old scientists who are, some of them are older than me and are still alive, and talk to them about coastal science and environmental science in Louisiana. That would be a wonderful project, either as just an oral history project
Right.
or as video interviews.
Yeah, you could do that. Don't sell yourself short. You could do that. Just take some of our classes, right? What are you looking forward to for the rest of 2017?
Oh, gosh. I really don't have plans. I'm retired, and I do whatever is interesting and comes along.
I like it. Just ready for anything. What are you reading right now?
Oh, gosh, I'm reading a book that is so hard. The 5 Things We Cannot Change and How to Gain Happiness from Them.
Sounds interesting.
It's published by a Buddhist publishing company.
Okay, yeah. What are one of the 5 things, out of curiosity?
Loss. Yeah, that's one. Loss of everything and change. Even loss of our own lives.
Yeah. True. All right. Let's lighten it up a little bit.
That's heavy.
Let's say you have a playlist that you had to listen to for the rest of your life, and you can only listen to that one playlist. Which bands or artists are on it? It can be several. But who has to be in your ears?
I guess the Animals.
Okay.
And Mick Jagger, the Rolling Stones, and Neil Young, and John Prine.
Okay, yeah, definitely. All of the above, huh? Very cool.
Way back from my generation.
Yeah, hey, good music. Some of the best music still. Yeah, still. During your childhood, what were your favorite books or movies or singers or sports heroes? Any of those things that captured your attention and held on to it?
Oh, I thought Yogi Berra was just great. He was a catcher for the New York Yankees and always had something interesting to say when they had interviews with him. So I loved Yogi Berra.
Yeah. For those young kids, that's not the cartoon.
Yes. Yes. This was a baseball player.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. It's a good one, yeah. So as a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be an engineer.
You did?
I did.
You knew?
From
yeah.
just about as small as I can remember. As soon as I learned what it meant.
Right.
Before that, I would tell people I wanted to be a dreamer and dream things up.
That's kind of like an engineer.
That's kind of like an engineer.
That's it, yeah. Very cool. Who were your childhood heroes? I know we talked about whenever you were teaching at UL, those mentors that made an impact in your life, and Yogi Berra, but were there people in or characters or anything that you just looked up to?
Well, my scoutmasters were really fine men and gave a lot of themselves to run the scout troop that I was in.
Sure.
And so they were important heroes to me.
Yeah. Was that were the Scouts a huge part of your life growing up?
Yes, from when I was 11 till around 18.
Yeah, it's a big part of your life, definitely. Are there lessons that you still remember today that you learned from the Scouts?
Sure, how to make a fire with 2 matches and tie a square knot, not a granny knot.
Yeah. Are there life lessons too?
I think the biggest thing that I got out of Scouts was the ability to be independent and to take care of myself. You go out camping and there you are with your stuff, and you have to cook your meal and take care of yourself and make your own bed and put it in your own tent. And I thought that really gave me a lot. I thought it it gave me a great advantage when I went into the Army later,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I saw that a lot of the young guys that were going into the Army really didn't have a clue about how to do that.
Yeah.
Had probably never needed to know.
You probably never, yeah. Definitely. Wow, thank you for your service also. Definitely. Let's see. If you could have dinner with 5 famous people from history, who would they be? Or from your life? Or...
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Be kind of daunting, but I suppose Jesus Christ would be a very good dinner companion.
I suppose so.
Would be really great to get to meet a caveman or a primitive person,
Oh, yeah.
a Neanderthal.
Yeah, sure.
That would be an interesting dinner.
Yeah. Y'all may not eat.
Yeah, he might just kill me.
Yeah.
But, and then I suppose in more recent times, Albert Einstein would be just an incredible person to meet and get to know.
Definitely.
So there's 3.
Sounds like a good dinner. Sounds like one of the more interesting ones we've had. Most interesting combo. What are you most excited or passionate about?
I always like to learn new things and apply the things I've learned. So recently I've been learning about the drinking water situation in Lafayette, and I really learned a lot from looking at that. And when I went to the Everglades, it was such a great privilege to get to learn about the science in the Everglades and the hydrology in the Everglades.
Definitely. So that's kind of carried through your learning, I guess you'd call it. Yeah.
Yeah, through my whole life.
Yeah. Very cool. What's your superpower? I know everyone giggles at that question.
Oh, I suppose it's not staying on topic. I'm very good at that.
Yeah.
Super
good at that.
Yes, if I start working on one thing, by the end of my work, I'll be working on something else.
Yeah. It's very natural, I understand. What is your superpower? I'm sorry, spirit animal. What is your spirit animal?
Turtle.
A turtle. Why is that?
Just looks cozy.
Just like
Carry your house everywhere you go.
I like it. Well, you are an engineer, so that actually is fitting. Build your house and carry it with you. Very cool. What's one thing about you that few people know?
I suppose many people don't know that I'm a member of the Unitarian Church.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
We're a very small group here.
Yeah. I was going to say, is there a church in Lafayette?
We have what they call a fellowship, because we're not big enough to really be a church.
Fair enough. Yeah, okay. I didn't realize that there was one in Lafayette. Cool. What achievement are you most proud of?
Having kids, I guess,
Yeah.
would be the thing that I did, and I had to stick to it, so I'm getting it finished.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty big achievement. Yeah, definitely. What inspires you?
Curiosity.
It's fitting. Yeah, it's fitting. So are you inspired by other people's curiosity or by your own? Or?
Oh, I love to see other people's curiosity and see them exploring it and looking at things that they find interesting and learning.
So you are a teacher. There you go. How would you like to be remembered?
I don't know. I guess I don't really care if I'm remembered.
You're remembered, yes. You'll be the The engineer with the shell on his back.
Yes.
One last question.
All right.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Oh, gosh. Engineer, old, and retired.
And I like it. You've mentioned that, yes. How is retirement? I have to ask.
I recommend it to anybody that's thinking about it. Retirement is wonderful.
Good. Much deserved then, I'm sure. Well, you survived the interview, so thank you very much. I appreciate it. That was fun.
Thank you.